Hello, my love.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm glad that I noticed this morning on the calendar that this is coming up. I was like, oh my God.
Time goes so fast.
It does, yeah. It
I
felt very like far away to begin with when we scheduled it because it was like more than 2 months ago, I want to say. And I was like, it's here.
I know, literally, it was crazy. How have you been?
Ah, good. I feel like when the summer comes to this land, I'm all good and everything is like energized and it's all good.
Are you a summer lover then out of the seasons?
I never thought I am, but yes. With my previous
No.
career, I was basically following the summer around the globe, wherever it was happening at the moment. And now I'm like, okay, I need some summer. England.
Yeah, I am not a summer season. Like everyone's like auras connect with different seasons.
Hmm.
And I am not a summer season gal. Like I'm like autumn, spring.
In
Yeah.
in the middle. Okay.
Yeah, they're like opposites.
Yeah.
Autumn is like when I really like feel the most alive.
Interesting. I do love all the colors in autumn for sure.
Yeah. And like you can like get all cozy and like I don't know, I just feel like my creativity comes.
Really? Yeah, my
Yeah.
creativity definitely comes with the full-on snow blown season, winter, and like the play in the snow or the summer, yeah, when the days
Yeah.
are super long.
Oh, I love that for you. I love that. You're in your element. And cheeky lady, I did not know you were pregnant when I saw you in person.
Not many people knew. I'm pretty sure I released the real, hey, I'm pregnant, like just past the mark of 3 months, maybe like the weekend after, I
It
think.
was literally just after, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, we're doubling up on you now. Like all the healing is happening, like with the baby, and the baby is definitely helping.
Okay. What's coming up for you as you've conceived and you're holding like, oh, I don't know, it's just the most special thing, isn't it?
It's like who haven't been through that. It's really hard to explain. And I
Yeah.
was just recently explaining it to somebody like who haven't done a skydive. Like you have to jump out of the plane to actually understand that it's inexplainable. So
Yeah.
what was coming up for me within the first trimester? It was the fatigue and the nausea, which is for overachiever and a highly driven person, really a big block. So it was tremendous for me to be literally like just teeter-tottering between the bed and the couch because I just could not make it any further for like one whole week before I realized that I can shift everything with theta healing and be energetic and not nauseous again. I'm like,
Wow.
amazing.
Do you know what? I've heard this is somebody that I follow online had really bad morning sickness, went to hypnosis,
Yeah.
and the morning sickness left them.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. So your symptoms during pregnancy relate as well to your energetic healing.
Oh, 100%. It's like like again, like I'm about to try to explain it to the whole world and on Instagram, like share it really.
Yeah.
Because it's like even my own teacher, my theta healing darling teacher Josie, she was like, oh, she's a mom. She's like, oh no, it's just like it's part of the pregnancy. And I'm like, I don't know. I do
Uh,
trust you. You're more experienced and you're a mom already. And I don't know, but like I was getting that message for the first week of literally being completely, I felt disabled. Like it was awful. I was like, I'm never doing this again. And like all of those thoughts, I'm like, I don't even want to be pregnant anymore. This is horrendous. And I wasn't even sick. Like I was not throwing up. I was just super nauseous. And like for 1 week, it was like the worst. Like uh, none of the injuries I've ever had, none of the illnesses were comparable. Like everything was just like I was literally disabled. Like I woke up at 6 a.m. I was like, oh, amazing. I feel great. By 10 a.m., I wanted the day to be finished. I was like, I don't have juice for any more of this life happening.
I've been squeezed.
It was really bad.
Oh,
And yeah, so for a week I was just like this. I was like, okay, do I just write it out? And I kept getting the message. So just shift it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I will look into that. And what was behind this morning sickness, no, the morning, the all day sickness, and the fatigue was actually me needing to be in slowness and stillness even, and it was just such an unfamiliar state. I did slow down massively within the last few years, but still it was very much of a state which was like, not, I was not accepting it. Basically, I was not comfortable in it. And also, being hyper independent woman my whole life, I was not happy for my partner to pay for everything. I was like, I'm not making money. I can't pay for groceries, like for the basics, basically. And I'm like, oh my God, this is horrendous. And I just felt so like guilty and like shame, like all of this was coming up. And that exactly what was bringing up the physical symptoms. It was really bad.
because I can't even, like, I can imagine it, but I can't even relate to the experience. I've done a skydive, but I haven't been pregnant.
It's coming. It's coming for you probably. And you will know.
Oh gosh. And I have spent a lot of time around pregnant people or people that have had babies recently, and I've really felt it in my body, like this
Did
pull
you?
towards children. And I have not had that. I've almost been the opposite of like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to bring a child into this world. Like, I don't think it's for me. And it's actually been a huge part of my healing as well with Grace, because deciding, one of the reasons why I didn't want to be a lesbian was because of not being able to have a biological child of our own
Mm-hmm.
in both sides. And so, but then when I met Grace, I was like, well, you can't deny love. So had to do loads of healing around that. And then I was like, I'm good. Don't want them. This is perfect. It's
Yeah.
all aligned beautifully. And now I'm like, oh gosh, a new healing phase to enter. I can feel it. But you're already purifying everything that's been holding within you to hold this soul that is growing within you.
It feels very aligned. I never wanted kids. I was always like, the mother wound in me was so deep and like so profound that I was like, I'm not bringing, just like you said, I'm not bringing another child, let alone girl, into this world. I was like, it was horrible. I didn't want to just do that. And then I met my partner, what was I, 5, 6 years ago? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the future of my child, future father of my child. I was like, oh,
Yeah, because
the
you
thought
know,
came in,
right?
and it was like, it was ridiculous. And I was married at the time, right? So, and I was telling the guy who I was married to, I was like, no, I don't feel like having children whatsoever. And I was just happy in the partnership, and it was like, it was all right. And but coming from that state of being just all right and being with somebody because we had common, like, activities in common and stuff, skydiving being one of them. And then meeting this guy who is like, oh my God, he is actually the father material. I never had that before. So 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I met him, I was in absolute shock. And ever since then, it was like, okay, I guess this is happening at some point. But I was still not ready until I healed the mother wound. Seriously, until I felt the unconditional love from me to my mom and back, from her to me. It was just not even possible to think that.
Yeah. For those that don't know what a mother wound or a father wound is, because the audience is going to be very broad, from never experiencing healing before to people that have healed the mother and father wound. Can you share how somebody could connect to what we're talking about?
Well, if you grow up with very, let's say, not what would be like a loving relationship with your mother, emotional abuse, physical abuse, not having your emotional needs met, that would be a wound. And that, I feel like it's majority of the people, but it's just a lot of them don't even know that. So
Yeah.
great test for everyone would be, go hang out with your mom. for some people after 24 hours be like, I cannot do this anymore, and that might be even a stretch, right? Some people are like, oh my god, 45 minutes is enough. Go on vacation with your mom and you will find out what you need to heal.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. 100%. And there's cycles, isn't there? And there's layers to it. It's like sometimes you won't even realize there is emotional abuse there because there isn't that opportunity to get to those layers of truth within actually what's happening. And yeah, like you said, go on holiday, spend a decent amount of time together, and you'll probably start to realize how you're genuinely feeling, like whether or not you are desperate for that time on your own or to like go home.
That's exactly why Christmas or Thanksgiving living back in America is always like the most triggering time of the year, because people, the families get together and the triggers come out. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's
It
incredible.
can be intense, intense. I've definitely felt those layers go through on both father and mother side. And I think every time it's got difficult, everything in you wants to retract and run away from your healing, but you've got to keep going and keep that momentum because that's growth and becoming who you're meant to be. And I think a lot of people can get scared of the way that they've conditioned life to be based off of their mother and father.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily right for you. And
So
that's where then we feel like anxiety and like resistance, right?
when something's triggered, it's triggered and the emotions can run really high.
Yeah, yeah. How have you worked through your wounds?
Well, yeah, I started when I found myself like overreacting to minimal things, like minimal triggers, maybe 15 years ago. And that was like a moment when I was like, my boyfriend at the time was laughing at me. I literally wanted to kill him with like a frying pan kind of moment. I'm like, huh. And then the self-reflection, the awareness came. I'm like, I don't like myself like this. And I started to look for help. And the first thing was tapping, which didn't seem like it helped. There was definitely some sort of emotional release when I was talking about the triggers with the therapist, but it didn't seem to get rid of the root and or shift anything behind the stories, right? So the stories, I mean, like the biggest trigger was my mom was trying to leave us or leave my father when I was about 9, and that was just horrendous time. That still kind of brings a little bit of emotions right now, but I was not able to talk about it without actually like full blown sobbing kind of reaction to it, right? So after the tapping, I found NLP style of therapy, which I trained in, and within 5 years, I became a therapist as well. I was helping others, and that was still very much on logical level. And so the very core of it, the emotional or the energetic wounding, let's say, the layer was not completely clear. Logically, I was okay with that. There was no reaction, but there was still some sort of um, just pain behind it, emotional pain. And that's when I found spinal energetics and the how I think the mother wound was actually projecting itself in my body was lower back pain, especially on the left side. And that's just left side is feminine. We all know that's when something got triggered, the back pain was worse. And so when I found spinal energetics and I was starting to get treatments, the pain was actually shifting, which was interesting. It was the intensity was shifting, so going up and down, or leaving completely for a week and then coming back, or it was shifting from left to right. It was like changing location, shoulders, between the shoulders, maybe hips and stuff. So I knew it's energetic, and I just, the pain actually is energetic based. And I knew I just have to do something with it. And then I stumbled across data healing, maybe I want to say 6 months, maybe a year after finding spinal energetics. So then I started to combine it. And theta healing actually shifted the roots, because it's not just this life, it's not just childhood trauma, but it's also what we inherited through DNA, what we have like energetically inherited through the bloodlines we are coming from. So there was lots of healing within the lineages as well, from the father, from the mother, and then also past lives, because I was very having clear visions of my past lives, and I was a witch before. Let me tell you that a few times. Good one, obviously. And when someone says witch, it's like casting spells and stuff. No, no, no. I was kind of a herbalist, probably.
Okay. And how did you discover that?
It just came to me in visions. Usually within spinal energetics, there was some sort of emotional block release that the visions were able to come in, or within meditation or within theta healing. It was just like sudden memory, or usually those visions or those messages come to me within a thought form, which is really easy to actually receive that way.
It's incredible. And the power of energetic work is insane, as we know. A lot of people probably haven't experienced spinal energetics or theta healing, because even I, who have tried many energetic work, I hadn't heard of spinal energetics before I saw you. And when I came across you, I was like, wow, this is fascinating. Like, let's look more into this. And then you did some on me, didn't you? And the release, it's amazing. Not just the release, but also for me, I found it was the connection. It the connection was more powerful for me, that it was just on a higher frequency that I had felt before. It like charged me in a different way. So like breath work, I would say, is more the release. And then this is just how I felt. I don't know if this is actually like the terminology that you would use, so I'll go on to that. But for me personally, I've done lots of breath work, absolutely love it. That was really releasing. And then the spinal energetics for me felt it was more of like a pull to my higher self to then be able to connect on a deeper level, because I'd rised above the pain that I was feeling. But can you explain the actual terminology behind spinal energetics?
Oh gosh. So spinal energetics comes from Australian woman called Sarah Jane, and she actually is very much science-based and very logical person. That's why she drew me in, or towards her rather. And she's coming from chiropractic practice basically. So, and she developed this method maybe only 15 years ago. That's why it's not so well known around. But there is another method called network spinal, and it's she's coming from that kind of thought, and then she developed her own method called spinal energetics. But it still works through all the layers, just like theta healing. There is physical level, right? So that's the layer we actually feel, the matter. And then there's emotional level, like layer. So let's say maybe this much above the body, and then mental, ancestral, and soul level. And in theta healing, it's very similar. So we have physical, or core, basically core beliefs. Then there is I'm mixing those two up now. But basically a similar thing, like history, and then ancestors, and a soul level. So they both meet at the soul level. And for people like you who have been healing, who have been working on themselves for so long, it's really, really easy for me to like pluck them up into the soul level, and then you can just feel the connection to the source, or connection from the higher power, God, whatever people might call it. And it's just like seeing a bigger picture, really.
Yeah, I remember you were like, right, now visualize this and connect to this. And I was like, yep, I'm there.
Yeah, so pulling people up into seventh plane of existence, because we live in 3D, right? Lots of times you can hear, oh, there's an ascension to 5D, but the creator, the higher power, the source is actually at 7D. seventh D. So seventh plane of existence, it's where all the healing comes from, which is the highest level. And it's I'm just channeling basically from what I'm getting from there for the person. And I'm not discounting any of the layers below, because each layer, let's say layer one or dimension one, it's all the rocks, right? I believe in crystals. I have them everywhere. They have incredible power. They have frequencies which help the healing. So that's first dimension. Second dimension, essential oils, for example. So that's also really, and a lot of times I'm like, doing theta healing with somebody, and I get the message, put the rosemary oil in their muscles, they will relax. I'm like, okay, yeah, perfect.
Absolutely, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just all inclusive, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, 100%. I did a healing journey once with herbal medicine, and it was a spiritual journey that was allowing us to go to different dimensions. And I actually went then to a shaman afterwards, and they said you're multi-dimensional, and I still truly believe to this day it was because of that journey that I went on. Because in my journey I went my body really quickly as well, and I hadn't done a journey like this before with herbal medicine, but I very quickly was out of my body, and I went into like up into the universe, and I was like so far back into the universe. In 100 years time I was looking back at Earth, into Earth's core, and I could like observe and I could watch the earth turning, and I
Yeah.
felt dizzy, and I felt like kind of yeah, the sensation is just dizzy,
Yeah.
and like you've been spinning for ages and then you stop. And when I could connect back to myself in that place and no longer feel dizzy,
Mhm.
it was like I could feel and see everything of anyone. I could picture somebody and their feeling came to me. And it was like just like a fire that had been like lit all
Mhm.
through me. And it was an insane experience. But then
True.
when I came back to myself, I found it a lot easier to become an observer of all situations, because I had been so distant in a being an observer. When
Mhm.
I then was there, it felt so much easier to detach and be like, no, do you know what? Take yourself out of Alexander's body and just watch.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes now, I've spoken a lot through it with you in my recent healing cycles. I make decisions that some people just do not understand.
Mhm.
Like, and it will seem completely wild and like, what on earth are you doing? But I just trust in everything that my body tells me every single day. I'm like, right, do this. Like, I just listen and I absorb it all. And life seems to be going well from it.
Oh, funny. You're talking about how you listen to your body. It's so funny when the message is very strong when you don't listen to the body as well. I was just coming back from the gym, and it was the perfect message that I should not have gone to the gym and do strength workout because my knees were hurting. But knees are connected to being stubborn, right? So if there's not a physical reason, or like a real matter reason why your knees are hurting, and it's like just coming out of the blue, it's like you're being reminded that you're stubborn about something. And it was me exactly this morning. I wanted to go to walk to the beach, but then I was like, I need to be more efficient, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And as I'm sitting in the car coming back from the gym, my knees are hurting. I'm like, oh, I was stubborn about this decision. My intuition was telling me, go for a walk. And I instead went to lift weights. And it just was like the reminder, right? But as soon as the thoughts, the realization came through my mind, the knee stopped hurting. I'm like, okay, I honor you, body. I will listen to you. I'm sorry I did this, but it's not a big deal. We'll listen to
Yeah,
intuition.
no, we have to, though. We have to listen to our body. Absolutely. Where does our body store what feeling then, and what message?
Oh gosh, yeah, that could be very. I have a list of all physical symptoms basically and what it can mean, and there's a mantra connected to it. You can actually look it up online, and there's like over 100 different.
And there's like mantras connected to it, and then there's the scents and the flowers and the earth symbols,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they all nurture that body part. Let's give people some examples so people can understand how, if they've got a physical pain and medically it cannot be explained, then look into this.
So just like I mentioned, lower back, it could be connected to emotional support, financial support, or just being in community, right? So if any of those three are missing, the lower back pain could be there. Also, it depends which vertebra it's attached to. So let's say lumbar spine is more money connected, and if it goes all the way down to sacrum, so close to the root, it could be the emotional support rather. Hands, for example, when I have clients with arthritis or something, it's very quite logical actually. They're not able to handle life, and it could be any aspect from that. And again, if we divide the body left and right, left is feminine. So if the problem is in the left hand, let's say, I'm looking into the relationship within the female relatives of that client, for example.
Okay.
Neck pain is about flexibility and control, and maybe holding on to control too much or losing control over something. And it's just within a conversation. Like it was incredible. I just had a client yesterday and she was like, "Oh, I had a lower back pain." And we're using the gun, right? Like the actual like really physical gunning the matter. And suddenly she's having visions because she's very connected as well. We did very little theta healing so far. She's very new to me, but this was her third appointment, and I'm like gunning around the upper glutes and lower back. And she's like, "Oh, I just remembered the situation where I was in the field, there were cows, I was 3 years old." And she was describing every single detail, like what she was wearing, who was around, and they moved and they scared her. And literally she started crying, and I'm like, "You just released the fear of that very moment because it translated and sat in that matter in the tissue for 50 years." Like it's crazy how this works. And when we're open to this, it's just the healing is literally happening within seconds. I love it.
Yeah. And there, like I said, there's layers to everything in life. And when somebody new comes into the healing, you work the exact same as I do. We meet them where they're at. Like, you will always intuitively know what that person needs in that moment and what type of healing it is. And that's amazing where you've got so many different plates spinning, that it means that your connection to that person's healing is a far broader.
Absolutely, absolutely honor wherever they are at. And a lot of times people come, "I really want to work on this issue," and my intuition is telling me they just need to rest. So I tone it down and let the nervous system actually have capacity and be strong and be able to handle whatever might come up within the deeper healing. And that's what I love about spinal energetics as well, because it's a little bit more intense than Reiki, because Reiki is literally like the warm hug and like the tiny nap and like the all beautiful, very gentle healing. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we have Kundalini activation process, as known as CAP, and that's just pure exorcism. So spinal is right in the middle, and I absolutely love it because I can still take it from the middle and go a little bit more stronger, more intense if the person is ready for it, or tone it down and just take care of the person in very lovely way and still do some powerful healing.
Yeah, yeah, that you do have to know that spectrum for sure. But that is where I personally am very selective with who I choose as a healer. And I think people do need to be that way, because, and that they should follow their gut with it. If it's the right timing for you, if it's the right person for you, everything in your body will say yes. And it will feel like a relief when you make that yes,
Mhm.
like even before work has started. Because what I've experienced is when I say yes to healing, before the sessions even happened, I'm all the energetics of just making that decision to say, yes, this is for me, releases so much in itself.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're opening the channel already and the energy is already going through it. Like it's
Yeah.
incredible. It's like,
Yeah.
what did I manifest this month? Oh yeah, a friend of mine, or actually end of last month, friend of mine was telling me, I just went to Malaga and it was amazing, and Spain and warm sea. And I'm like, I want to go to Malaga. I did not know where, I did not know who with. Money has been low after the first trimester, obviously. I'm like, can't really afford that. And Spain is ridiculously hot in August. I'm like, and that's the last month where I would be comfortable probably traveling on the plane with the bump. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But the brain obviously heard the message that I want to go to Malaga. And
Yes.
so I'm flying on August 1st for a retreat with our in-body Amy.
I am so jealous. I cannot tell you. I really wanted to do it, but I had already booked a holiday for August. And so I was like, obviously I'm so excited for that holiday, but I'm grateful. But I was like, I really want to experience that. And then you're going, and
Yeah.
then like you're gonna have a baby, so you're not gonna go probably for a while. And I was like, no, but there is, if we shift the word manifestation, because I think some people don't always connect with that, let's just say alignment. Life works for you.
Yeah.
Like you have to trust that there is an element of life that is always aligning to work with you. And when people feel that like pull and resistance, it's because they aren't saying yes to what their body is calling them towards. So if you didn't say yes to your calling then when the opportunity came up that was so obviously right for you because it aligned, there may have been other things that came up in your life that maybe were seen as negative because you hadn't said yes to the positive thing, and it would just keep going until you said yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the universe always have a plan for you. Whatever you emit, you will get back. So if you wish for something and you are in alignment, it will come to you basically no matter what. And same works for healing as well. And some people call like, see this as negative, but a lot of times when people hit rock bottom, if I take it to the extreme, that's exactly what will lift them up later. And that's the alignment again. They needed to learn some sort of breath lesson in order to ascend.
Oh, you've got me thinking, like, what do I want? Do you know what? Okay, I've just shared something on Instagram as well about this, and this will come out a few weeks. So if people want to look at what I shared, look back a few weeks once you're listening to this. But I just shared that I've really struggled for a long time, probably actually no, it's not probably, it's my whole life, to celebrate myself and to like go, yeah, this is what I'm good at, this is what I can do, and to wholeheartedly accept myself for who I am. Because I was always taught that like even if you did well, you could do better.
Yeah.
Or if it didn't conform to their version of success, then it was never good enough. So now my direction of work is very away from the stereotypical norm of success, because a lot of people chase success in like money or the logic of scientific ways, and my work is alternative. But what I'm loving is that it's becoming so much more well known and studied scientifically that now spirituality and science are coming together stronger than ever. And
I
I
know. It's like the Chinese people
yes,
knew it thousands and thousand years ago, right? And now it's like finally the Western medicine taking on sound healing and stuff.
yeah, oh my gosh, I saw that and I was like, come on, now we're talking. And I've experienced it myself, and doing work with Amy made me realize that actually I am my testimony like I have healed myself through energetics. I've helped so many others heal through energetics. This isn't just doula, it's real, grounded, factual healing. And
Evidence is there.
it is. And it's only just really clicked with me to be like, you can celebrate yourself because you have succeeded in your mission. Like, I remember when I set out being like, I'm leaving corporate. I was angry. I'd been like disrespected. I was fueled by the anger. I was like, right, I am not going to let anybody get treated like this ever again in corporate. I had to really help some people with their mental health because the corporation weren't looking after them. And I was like, this is my thing. Like, this is my direction. And for so long, coming out of that and studying and everything, I was fueled with anger. And it wasn't until I could release that anger and be like, it's okay, because that was just something that pointed me in the direction of my truth. And when you've let go of the anger, the like brightness and like clarity really comes. And now I feel so connected to my work that I'm like, I can celebrate myself.
Yeah. In
Like,
very calm manner, right? Like the chill behind, like accepting whatever journey others are on, and if they want to be living the consumer life, they absolutely can. It's like the chill is
yeah.
like, oh my God, I feel like I'm constantly like, I don't know how to high, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Literally, Grace said to me yesterday, my partner said, I've never seen you just so content in what you do. Like, you don't feel like you
Thank
have to
you.
talk about it all the time. You don't feel like, if I'm sitting in front of somebody and I know that they're talking a whole load of nonsense about what I do for work, and they don't know that that's what I do for work yet, but they're telling me something and I'm like, that's not true. I don't feel like I have to back it anymore. I just feel so grounded in the knowing. And it's like, I'm good. I'm good. If they want to know, they'll ask.
Exactly. They will come to you.
It's a different way of being, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It
Well,
is.
contentness and different way than the average consumer or whatever you would call it.
I know. What is an average consumer? Like, what is average? Like, why do people accept themselves to be average?
Well, it always starts with what they've been taught, right? And then it's just a matter of if they are open to discover their mission, the real purpose of life. Because my parents obviously are 9 to 5. Oh, I wish 9 to 5 was more like 6 to 4 or something. Really hard workers and manual labor kind of workers, and now they're retired and they're just enjoying their time off, and it's perfectly fine. But they did not know any different, and I don't know. My sister is doing the same thing, and now I just decided I'm not gonna be ever employed. I tried, believe me, I'm unemployable.
Yeah.
I said it
A
the other day.
strong-willed
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, no, I really tried. No. But coming from skydiving world, which is highly weather dependent, obviously, and it's like all about having fun, basically, and being paid for having fun. That was just me. And now I finally discovered, like when I burn out after 20 years, I was like, okay, I don't really feel interested in this. And that was already within like, let's say, 5 years into healing. I was like, okay, let's do something more important. I took 2 years off, started gardening, like volunteering first, but then I was paid for it actually as well. I didn't want to, but they were like, we really want to keep you, because I was like, I need to go and make money.
Yeah.
That was very funny. They were like, oh, I'll pay you. I'm like, okay.
Okay then.
So 2 years of true grounding after flying in the air for 15 years.
That is polar opposite, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And being a fire sign and having, the logic within my birth chart, and being an total airhead as an Aquarius moon.
Oh my gosh, we're so the same. This is why we connected so well. I'm like fire sign, but I'm airy in my head.
Yep.
Like, I could very easily be in the universe all the time if
Yeah.
I didn't have some grounding.
Yeah, and I feel like the logic is what connects me really to this like human experience, to this earth. And a lot of times, like I have a really good relationship with guys because I can speak their logical language as well. That's why like my clients are all 50-50, and it's just incredible to break the barrier between the feminine and the masculine, and like, you know, introducing very feminine things to the masculine people and vice versa. I really enjoy this. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. How do you find that your masculine and feminine shows up then?
Oh, very balanced right now. I was definitely in my masculine for the first, I want to say 35 years. Within the last 5 years, definitely strong feminine, to the point where I was like, I need a guy friend, not just the partner I'm with, because he's a male. He's very masculine, but I need
Yeah.
like boyfriends. I need to hang out with, like, I need to go climb with people who are not women, because I was
Yeah.
feeling my feminine so hard that I hit the wall, and I'm like, okay, I need to balance it out. And that was only like last year or something. And ever since last year, I was balancing it pretty good actually. And a lot of my business related women are actually very masculine as well, so they make up for
Mhm.
the gender actually.
Yeah, you do attract though what you're giving out, don't you? And that's energetic in itself, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you could manifest it.
Hmm.
So did you manifest attracting more male friends?
Yes, yes. It's opening up now for sure.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting for you.
Just when the clients become friends basically, and it's just outside of the treatment room actually the meetings are happening. And now doing the live sessions, it's even more so like attracting either, although the last breath work with Amy was all female. The very first live event you were at, there was a couple of guys actually, and one was military as well, so one was very business focused person.
Yeah, you definitely have more of a masculine aura, and Amy has a very for anybody listening, we're talking about Amy, who on Instagram is called Embody Amy. She's a breathwork facilitator, and she only works with women, so she is naturally going to draw in women.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, but you do have a very different energy to her,
Hmm.
in some ways, of that masculine and feminine showing up. And I love that you can really own it.
Yeah, yeah, they both have their place, and I feel like when
Yeah.
they're in balance, that like the logic and the intuition can very combine and like can help in the best way.
Yeah, yeah. And I suppose, that stuck feeling I was saying about, people will feel that if they're not embracing their one of their sides, right? Of masculine or feminine. I see it a lot actually in women that I work with. I'll say you're really in your masculine, and obviously not that basically, it will be lots of different layers emotionally to that, but they'll be very resistant to it because of any different experience that they've had in regards to maybe masculine influence, or maybe they've been encouraged to always be in their feminine, that masculine isn't seen as safe.
Hmm.
And where they're resisting it, it's that like, and then control comes in, and then you become more like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's so much tension in the body, and it won't let you sleep, and it's not
I
fun.
know. I know. I'm trying to body scan while we're talking now, just to be like, where is my energy at the moment? What do you think?
I feel like it's very balanced right now.
Yeah, I feel that. And then I'm like, well, this is weird.
Yeah. We both are where we wanted to be, and we're exactly where we need to be at the moment. I love that. Like
Yeah.
presence is real right now. And I feel like the July, which is I think the number is seven. Seven is very masculine number. It should be very masculine month, but for me it's very balanced.
Yeah. That's really interesting that you said that, because um I don't know, I've just got like this feeling that just came up. I had a psychic reading basically at the beginning of the year. And then when you said that, it just like brought me back to that. And then like the number 7 was like huge. And I'm like, what's my connection then to the 7? But I don't feel like it's that we're talking about. It's something else. Anyway, for everybody listening, this is what we're usually like, isn't it? And you just have things come up and you're like, okay, let's look into that. And that is energetic healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just looking at the different dimensions.
Yeah. A lot of times when the throat chakra is stuck, we're not allowing ourselves rather than able to express what's coming up, because I feel like everybody can get the downloads, the messages, the intuition, but then first off, the logical mind might stop it, like saying this is nonsense, let go of that, or like suppress it basically. And then when the thoughts are actually going, a lot of times we're not able to or not willing to express it because we don't want to sound crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And for some people I probably do sound crazy. We probably sound crazy. And
Not ours.
what was that?
That's their problem, not ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's in the presence? Who's in the comfortable zone?
Uh-huh.
Um oh gosh, it's a good way to be. It is a good way to be, but it takes hard work, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it was not easy to get where I am.
No. And I think that stops a lot of people from doing it. And then they stay in there uncomfortable because it's become so normal, it almost feels comfortable,
Mhm.
versus knowing that being temporarily uncomfortable leads to so much comfort.
Yeah, exactly. The physical sensation can be sometimes so alarming to the logical mind that people won't be willing to be going deeper into that or allowing it to happen for longer time, let's say.
Mm.
And longer time, I mean minutes, not like days or anything.
Yeah, and I don't think that anybody can be influenced or convinced to say yes.
They could be logically explained because that's where they are at. That's what they would probably speak to them in the easiest way, and then they can like sit with it basically and allow the possibility of the pain being not dangerous for them kind of come in. And if they get comfortable with that, then they are ready usually to make the next step.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love that. I love seeing this progress because that's, oh my gosh, I'm constantly basically suggesting something what's like super uncomfortable to people. But coming, let's say they come for one appointment, I suggest something and they're like, oh, absolutely not. And then they come like, oh, I was thinking about it and maybe I'm open to it. Like cupping is a perfect example. I have few very like hyper vigilant and very much like sensory people, which the cupping therapy was like very much not on the list of things they want to do whatsoever. And now they're
Mm.
like literally asking for it because they changed over time their mind. And we went in really easily. We just tried in, but just a little bit, one cup at a time, let's say.
Yeah.
And now they're just opening up to it. It's just like with everything else.
So with the cupping, again, you are the professional, but when you suction on the muscle, it releases tension,
Mhm.
and the release of tension expands the consciousness.
That would be a good way to put it. Yes, because everything is connected, right? The mind,
Mhm.
the body.
Yeah.
Absolutely love going like diving deep into people's abdominals because the organ cupping, that's something what I'm actually really good at. And not everyone takes it, but there is so much to do with just the hands and release the fascia because fascia is literally the number one organ holding onto emotions because it's intertwined, weaved through entire body, going through every layer, skin, muscles, organs, everything. And yeah, so the abdominals basically is where I would definitely go first when I see somebody who is tired and they don't have really any other aches or pains or whatever, or there's like stress sitting. I don't
Yeah.
know, that's where I go. And the cups reach really deep, like they go up to 4 inches deep. So we are definitely influencing
Wow.
way to kidneys, for example.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. Because as you were saying, the energetic levels live beyond the skin outside. They also live within the body in reverse, and in our different organs, like we were saying, like the pain will sit in different places in the body depending on what you're experiencing or have experienced. But also they do manifest in areas of the body like your gut,
Mm-hmm.
not just like, I think a lot of people think of bones. So like when they're really uncomfortable, they'll go to a chiropractor. But a lot of the time we need the muscle release and the emotional release for then the bones to sit where they need to sit.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that a chiropractor adjustment is great. I used to get that all the time. But if the soft tissue it attaches to the bone is still tight, it will pull the bone out of its place within sometimes hours. So yeah,
Yeah.
good click could be really good, but a lot of times it's relief for a few hours or a few days.
And that's that.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when you allow your emotions to release, the muscles more supportive
Mhm.
to the bone to
Exactly.
not slip out of place.
Yes.
So I've gone to a chiropractor before I knew about all of this, before I learned all about this. And now I think I wish I put that money into into other ways of healing because it's quite
It's all right. It's
expensive.
process, and like you can be grateful for having that experience and
Yeah.
knowing how it works, and maybe knowing how long it's gonna help you for. Like I don't regret any money spending on chiropractors. It's just it's been a journey, and
Yeah.
chiropractor in my mind is already kind of towards the alternative methods because that's not something what's prescribed by a doctor, right? You can I mean, rehabilitation is, but that's usually connected to an injury. If you have a lower back pain for, I don't know, 25 years, nobody tells you or nobody prescribes you to go to chiropractic.
Yeah, yeah. We actually had somebody, a chiropractor, come on to the podcast, and they actually transitioned their work into breath work because what they found through their work was actually what was releasing these people of their pain was the breath work, not the like recalibration, I think they called it, of the bone structure.
Mhm.
So they actually released that part of their work and moved into breath work. So it's
Exactly.
interesting, yeah. And that is part of the journey of life is we're here now, but there is so much more evolution for both of us to come.
Yeah. I don't discount any method really and everything. Like if there is something what helps you or helps a very logical thinker, like for example, my partner is very logical thinker. He does not get any energy work. He thinks he does not get energy work. He loves the cupping, he loves the massage and like the elbows and in his back and stuff. He loves it. And because that's what his mind is set to, I'm happy to do it for him. But if his mind was set on energy work and not this, like it's just if he believes that now we're back to beliefs, if he believes that this thing manual work actually helps him best, that's what's going to help him best because that's his mindset.
100%. Like that's where I don't think that you can convince somebody because you over time you can allow your knowledge to absorb into them to change their beliefs to allow them to be more accepting to then say yes, but you can't convince somebody in that moment without that process to change the belief to just change the belief.
Yes, exactly.
um and it is true, whatever somebody believes is going to work for them.
Mm.
Do you find that as you're together, and especially now you're pregnant, that you're feeling things energetically, and as you share that with him,
Uh-huh.
he is understanding energetics more?
He's definitely growing. He's opening his mind to it. but when I come with the hardest part for him to digest is past lives. So
Okay.
when I say I just had a vision, this past life came up, it was because of this trigger, and I was able to shift it with theta healing. He goes like, you know how crazy you sound right now? And I'm like still trying to like not making fun of him all the time because of this. I'm really trying to give him the portion of information or the way the information I'm relaying to him, the way it would work for him, right? But on the other hand, I don't really care. If he doesn't get it, he doesn't get it.
Yeah, because you do.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh gosh. Well, it's amazing that you are so connected to it, coming into the space of holding another spirit within you,
Um,
and you're in the best place for it.
yeah. And incredibly enough, we actually agreed on not finding out what gender it is, even though I have the appointment, the scan, which could reveal that today. And
Oh my gosh, Ava, that's so amazing.
I was told to tell the sonographer person when to look away because the gender might be visible. Actually, I can't wait for that. I'm not gonna look away.
Are you not?
No,
I think you're gonna know.
so
I think you'll be able to tap into it.
I miscarried twice before this pregnancy, and there was very clear message that it's a boy, the first one, and the second one, the pregnancy lasted only 5 weeks, and it was definitely a girl. With this one, I am like just so open to anything. I have no messages just now. Even the name, I don't want to decide on name either. Ryan is all like, "Oh, just let's make a list. Like it's just a short list for a girl and for a boy." And I'm like, "Nah, he will tell me when the time is right." He's like, "No, you have to be
Yeah.
prepared."
Oh yeah, yeah. No, but I love being like that in life. Like, let it come. Like, don't let yourself stress over what you don't know right now, because you are going to know it when the time is right that you need to know it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can take a deep breath and relax in that moment of having no stress when you think like that.
Yeah, yeah. It was like so many clear messages, so many like downloads I got about things which I was trying to decide beforehand. And it was just not helping. Like the mind becomes cluttered and the mind or busy with those like thinking about it and trying to logically like decide about something. Nah, I'll let go of that completely and it just comes to me literally. And it's very new. It's only like 6 months.
Yeah, well, it's just gonna keep coming stronger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
It
believe
will.
so.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. And so you haven't gone to the scan yet, it's to come.
Yes, it's at 1 o'clock today.
Okay, well, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to think about you today.
Thank you.
And good luck with your scan.
Thank you.
I'm going to attach your Instagram in the description below. So if people want to know about your events or your work, they can check out your Instagram below. And yeah, if they want to come to the next event, I'm going to try my best to be there, and then they can meet us both.
Exactly.
That
Oh,
would be great. Oh, it was so good to chat. Thank you so much for coming on. We could talk, I know, for living
hours.
hours, so it's hard to narrow it down to a few topics, but there we are.
There we are.
We're
Exactly.
here. Oh, have a lovely day.
Thank you so much. You have a lovely day as well.
Thanks, Ava. I'll speak
For
to you
your
soon.
balanced masculine and feminine.
Oh, you too. You too.
Lots of love.
Okay,
Mwah.
bye.